Hare Krishna, Dandot Pranam to all the devotees. By the basics of Shri Radha Madan Gopal, Shri Lalita Vichakasaki, Shri Gaunida, Srila Prabhupada and Gurudev. So today's short poem is based on the first shloka of Nectar of Instruction. So this is first shloka. Everybody knows the Nectar of Instruction is written by Rupa Goswami. And Prabhupada said in the preface that this book is very essential for the devotees to advance in Krishna consciousness. So I will first read the short poem. Tongue, belly, genital are in a straight line. Those who control these becomes divine. Tongue, belly, genital are in a straight line. Those who control these becomes divine. So shloka is as follows: Vacho vegam, manasa krodha vegam, jiva vegam, udar upastha vegam, etan vegan yo visheta dhirat, sarvam apimam prithvim sashishat. Translation is as follows: a sober person who can tolerate the urge to speak, the mind's demands, the action of anger, and the urges of tongue, belly, and genital is qualified to make disciple all over the world. So you see in the picture or poster that Prabhupada, who made disciples all over the world. Why? Because of controlling all these 6 forces. What are the 6 forces? The force of tongue, belly, genitals, anger, mind, stomach. So these are the forces that conditioned soul act because of these forces. They are impelled to do these things. They are impelled to satisfy their desires. Just like tongue want to eat so many things. So today we are going to only discuss about the tongue. So tomorrow, maybe day after tomorrow, we will cover belly and genitals. So this is very huge topic actually to speak on. So we'll first discuss the tongue, because tongue is very important and important factor for advancement and also for degradation. So those who are devotees who are following Bhakti Yoga, they can only control all these 6 forces. They have to control these forces, otherwise they will not make any progress. And the non-devotees who are not following Bhakti Yoga, it is very difficult for them to control these 6 forces. So in Bhagavatam it is said that Yamadivir Yogapatir Kama Lobha Hatumo Mukunda Sevaya Yadvat Atmadhana Shamiti. So Yamadivir Yogapathe, those who are following Yam, Niyam, Asan, Pranayam, for them it is very difficult to control the lust. Yamadivir Yogapathe, Kama Lobha, lust and greed. But those who are serving Mukunda, Kama Lobha Hatomhu, Mukunda Sevaya Yadvat Atmadhana Shamiti. Unless one serves Mukunda, Lord Krishna, one cannot get rid of this Kama, lust and greed. And there are so many shlokas in Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, that the devotee can easily control all these forces or waves of tongue, belly, genital. There is one more shloka. Janayati asuvaragyam jnanam chad ahetukim vasudeve bhagavati bhakti yoga prayojita janayati asuvaragyam jnanam chad tad ahetukam. So those who are practicing devotional service, they can easily conquer all these forces or waves of tongue, belly, genital. Vasudeva Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita Janeti Ashu Vairagyam. Vairagyam means that one is not providing food to the tongue, belly, genital and all others remaining our Gyanendriya and Karmendriya, knowledge acquiring senses and working senses. So today we are going to speak only on tongue, and there are so many verses in Srimad Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita. So today instruction In the instruction to the Rup, Raghunath Das Goswami, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tells that Bhalana khaibe bhalana paribe. The first is don't eat luxurious food. And another verse, Jivver lalase iti utidhai Shushno parayani Krishna nahi paye. So those who run after tongue and genitals, they will not get Krishna. Shushno parayani Krishna nahi paye. So today we are going to discuss about the Avanti Brahman. Avanti Brahman who accepted 24 Shiksha Gurus, and this his experience he is sharing before narrating the story of Pingla. Pingla was a prostitute, and before sharing the story of Pingla, he shares his wisdom with us. So there are so many shlokas regarding jiva, belly, and genitals, ears, means listening mundane music, and so many things. So from the 11th canto we are going to discuss today regarding tongue. So shlok, I will not read the shlok, I will directly read the translation. So Avanti Brahman says, just as a fish incited by the desire to enjoy his tongue is fatally trapped on the fisherman's hook, similarly a foolish person is bewildered by the extremely disturbing urges of tongue and thus is ruined. So we see that how a fish is captured by a fisherman. Generally he is not using the net, actually he is catching the fish using a bait or a hook. So he puts a meaty bait on sharp hook and easily attracts the unintelligent fish who is greedy to enjoy the tongue. And similarly people, those who are mad after satisfying the tongue, they run here and there and they eat the food which is not good for spiritual advancement. They eat non-veg and many other things which is not offered to Krishna. So they ruin themselves. In next shloka, Avanti Brahmana says, by fasting, learned men quickly bring all the senses except the tongue under control, because by abstaining from eating, such men are afflicted with an increased desire to gratify the senses of taste. So someone may say that I will fast, I will conquer the tongue. But here Avanti Brahman is saying that no, by fasting you cannot control the tongue, and after your fast is finished, the tongue will demand more variety of item. So it is very difficult to control the tongue even by fasting. In next shloka, the famous shloka by Avanti Brahman is तावत् जितेन्द्रियो न स्यात् विजित इंद्रिय पुमान् न जयेद रसनम यावत् जितम सर्वजिते रसा. Although one may conquer all other senses, as long as the tongue is not conquered, it cannot be said that one has controlled his senses. However, if one is able to control the tongue, then one is understood to be in full control of all the senses. So we see that tongue is very important, and if one cannot control his tongue, means he has not controlled his any senses. Because tongue is like a radar of a ship. If tongue is not controlled, then ship can go anywhere. Just like Titanic, the captain cannot able to control the direction of the ship and Titanic sank. Similarly, if we cannot control the tongue, we will eventually sink in this ocean of material world. And in next shloka, Avanti Brahman start describing the story of Pingla. So what to do, or how we can control the tongue? The tongue can only be controlled by the prayers when we offer to Lord Krishna. We every day sing before taking prasadam, Sharira avidya jal, jodendriya काल जीवे फैले विषय सागरे तार मध्य जीवाति लोभोमय सुदुर्मति. ताके जेता कठिन संसारे कृष्ण बड़ो दयामय करिवारे जीवाजे. So only by Krishna's mercy we can control the force of tongue, and by praying Krishna and by eating only offered food we can control the tongue. Otherwise we will ruin our own life. So that's why all these three, tongue, belly and genitals, are in the same line. If we can't control tongue, then we can't control belly, then we can't control our genitals. So if we control these three, then only we can become divine. Otherwise we have to pay fine. So all these three are necessary to be controlled to advance in Krishna consciousness. Otherwise we will lose our taste in Krishna consciousness, because if we are not having vairagya from these three things, tongue, belly and genitals, eventually we will land in some problem, maybe mental problem, physical problem. All the bodily disease are due to not controlling these three things. Whether tongue, because of tongue we eat too much and we have then problem of acidity, problem of gases, and naturally after too much eating, Prabhupada says that one becomes desirous to satisfy genitals, and too much engaging in satisfying genitals will lead to so many sexual transmitted diseases. So if we want to live a healthy, happy life, then we must control all these three things. That's why in Bhagavad Gita Krishna says yukta ahar viharasya yukta cheshtasya karmasu yukta swapnavabodhasya yogo bhavati dukkha. So first thing he tells that yukta ahar, if our ahar, our food is not proper, then we can't live in this material world happily, and we can't perform devotional service happily. We will be always miserable, and we will always think that why I have come to this process. So instead of blaming the process, we should wholeheartedly follow the process which Rupa Goswami explained in this book, Nectar of Instruction. So to practice first verse, it will take may take one life or many life. Then only we can speak about Krishna Prem. Otherwise, we just only speak on Krishna Prem, but we will not achieve Krishna Prem. So in next session, we will describe more maybe about tongue or belly or genital. We will keep the poster same. We will more discuss deeply on these issues or on this topic. So I will stop here. We will meet after some days, because tomorrow is Ekadashi, so I will not going to post any video. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. जय श्रील रूप गोस्वामी पाद की जय. हरे कृष्ण.